see here. Okay, let's pull this up because I think people might get a kick out of getting your
Hey, we can
feedback.
start Bomber Chum with this.
What's
We
that?
start Bomber Chum.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's do it. Okay, so we've been wanting to get to Bummer Chum. So let's go with this Bummer Chum. We're gonna go person or summoner by summoner.
Yep.
Now, I think Dark Side people have heard your take on Fernheart already, but if you want to give just a quick thing, and then because Luthien already said that she's kind of called it right with Fernheart. Oh, actually, sorry. Let's do this properly. Luthien, Fernheart, Bum, or Chum?
Chum.
Darkest Night?
Chum.
Oh, I know you guys are big fans. Okay, let's move on to the Dragon Summoner because I think this to me is one of the most exciting, but it also has the most versatility, obviously because of Dragon. But how are you feeling about Sispa, Bum, or Chum, Luthien?
Chum.
Care to elaborate a little bit more why?
Because I really like Phase. I think Phase is a great ability, and I try to use it wherever I can because it really nerfs magic, especially if you have a lot of speed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very much excited to be using that summoner.
I mean, I'm immediately thinking of like pairing this with really fast death cards that have backfire, like Pelacor Deceiver or something.
Yes.
And
yes.
Lyra the Dark and Supply Runner, and just like, because now that tank will almost be like your, not modern because Nightmare is technically modern, but you can almost make it like a modern.
Yeah. And Nightmare is so obnoxious, especially with Kitty. Oh my gosh, Nightmare is obnoxious. So I can only imagine how good this is going to make so many splinters.
So many cards, yeah. What about you, Darkest Night? Bum or Chum on Sispa?
Chum, for sure. One is Dragon, Phase, just like Luthien said. The artwork, amazing. Just everything. This card is phenomenal.
Interesting. Okay. All right, let's get to probably the most controversial one that has been dubbed the Vera of Riftwatchers, but that would be Dallin, the Death Summoner with the Cripple ability. Luthien, Bum or Chum?
I am going to say Chum because I actually like the Cripple ability. And once it's not able to be cleansed anymore, it's going to be a pain in the butt. And so here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you use something with Life Leech and it also has Cripple, like Murdamper, for instance, it gains a life for both the Cripple and the damage.
Oh, I did not know that.
So
wait, and you got Venari Bonesmith and what's that other Life Leech dude?
Life Sapper.
Life Sapper. There you go.
And then there's also the
Ancient Lich.
Ancient Lich. That's what I was thinking. I wanted to say Temple Priest, but that's the life card. Ancient Lich. You know, in Gladius cards, you have Witch Warwick. Yeah, this is going to be huge. Okay. And I think people are seriously underestimating it.
All right, fair enough. Oh well, that just sold me. Not sold me, but it definitely opened my eyes to something new with the Life Leech element. So, what about you, Darkest Night? This is a Death Summoner, Bum or Chum?
Chum for sure. If it gets fixed, right, that's the key. If they do what Matt said, then yeah,
the cleanse element, right? Not being able to cleanse Cripple.
Yeah, because the problem with it in its current form is if it gets cleansed, then it acts like a heal as well, right? So you want to, they have to fix that.
Okay.
And said he would. So, and he generally does what he says he's going to do. So I'm good.
Fair enough. All right. Let's move over to the bottom row. So Ilthain in the Life Splinter, giving you +1 speed to all those slow life cards, as well as Return Fire. Luthien, Bum or Chum?
I don't really know either way yet on that one. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't play Life a whole lot unless I'm playing Lorna. I really like Lorna. Mm-hmm. I feel that Life can tend to be glass cannons, a lot of glass cannons, you know. They can very easily die, especially with magic. As I'm not sure on that one yet. I'm gonna reserve judgment.
What about you, Dark Knight? Bum or Chum on Ilthain?
So I see the value in it, right? But I'm gonna say Bum. We just got Wraith. Wraith handles all of the weaknesses of Life. I wouldn't use this card over that one unless I had to in terms of just mana for the battle, right? But I'm not going to go looking for this card now. I will say, adding speed, we all know, adding speed is great. And the return fire is excellent, especially since we can expect that people are probably going to use more range with Fernheart, right? So I just think it's a counter to that. But if you use range, I think it's going to tear you up along with Amplify. But it's so niche. I just can't imagine grabbing this card over all the other options that I have.
Yeah, I would say that this is probably the Vera.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I hope so. I'm actually a fan of this card, which I guess makes me, which explains why I'm using all the wrong summoners. But
That's fun.
what I think it's definitely niche, but it's niche in the same way and the same reason that I kind of like General Sloan, right? Like again, I wish I could find the stats somewhere, but I feel like my win rate with General Sloan is high, not because General Sloan is a great summoner, but because there's certain specific rule sets where I know when to use it, or I know how to use it as a perfect counter to whatever my opponent is doing, right? Especially with something like Myler. Like those are the games that I love playing someone like General Sloan with. And I think Fernheart will probably take that role too, with Thorns. What I like about Ilthain and where I plan to use it is potentially in rule sets that don't offer like the one or other attack type. So if it's a no melee match, then I would love to put Ilthain up front with Pelacor Conjurer, right? Because all of a sudden that thing is going to be doing damage back no matter what hits it. And then at the same time, if it's a non-magic battle, then you could throw someone like what's his name? The big dude, Uriel, right up front with a ton of armor, or someone with a ton of armor. So I like it, but I guess this is already showing where we'll have to see. All right, so Luthien's calling it the Vera of the set. Let's move on to Aquatus and those crazy mermaid abs that apparently this dude has. So what are we thinking about Backfire and the Water Splinter?
Absolutely enormous Chum. Can you imagine the same with
no, Luthien, I wanted to talk about not just about the artwork, but about the ability.
Ha ha.
Oh boy. Well.
Hilarious. You're so funny.
I know. I try.
Can you imagine the same with Oceanus, though? Seriously. It's going to be insane. There are so many fast water cards already, and Oceanus has phase with Backfire. Oh, that's going to be mean. I'm so excited for this one. I'm probably more excited for this one than Fernheart, actually, now that I think about it.
All right, what about you, Darkest Night, Bomber Chum?
Absolute Chum. Phantom of the Abyss, it's just going to tear people up.
Oh, yeah.
Phantom of the Abyss, I think with Demon Shark is another one. Like, when Demon Shark gets enraged, there's so many misses on him, and now you're going to be doing 2 damage back. I don't know. I'm really excited about Aquatus for sure.
Yeah. Okay. At its best, I think, right? So
let's move on to the final one, Skargore, and fire. So you're gonna get Enrage here, which I think can come in handy for a lot of the big chunky melee monsters that fire tends to have. But Luthien, bum or chum on Skargore?
I'm gonna say a soft chum. Because I'm not quite sure yet. I can see this doing well with like Forgotten One because of the Retaliate. Enrage and Retaliate are a very good combination.
Yep. Okay.
I could see this enhancing Grum.
Wait, isn't Enrage and Retaliate the same as Lord of Darkness? Doesn't he have those two together?
Yes, he does.
Oh, he always destroys me. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. So you said with Grum.
Yeah. So I think that this one could be good, but on the other hand, fire tends to not be super melee heavy. Like I feel like there's a lot of range, and maybe it's just because I play Yoden with fire, but I'm not entirely sold on it.
Okay.
But I think that it could be good. I think it has potential. We'll see.
All right. What about you, Darkest Night?
I think this card is going to be dominant.
Dominant. Okay.
Yes. Just the insanity that this card will represent. Because what does Enrage do, right? Increases damage, speed, health, right? So I think it's health. Yeah. So
I don't think it does health.
Okay. Then no, that's right. It can't do health because that would counter the Enrage. But damage and speed, right? So there are a lot of cards that are limited by their speed, right? And Rum specifically has a bloodlust, right? So I think that the cards like that are going to be super dominant. Again, it depends, right? Because they have to take damage. I think in certain rule sets, it'll be just ridiculous, like the poison rule set, right? Everyone will be damaged after the first turn.
Oh,
Everybody's damage is going to go
you're
up.
right. Holy crap. Okay.
And
Yeah.
same thing with Earthquake, right? Everybody's going to take damage,
Yeah.
increase their damage, increase their speed. So it's a race to see how quickly you can obliterate the other side, right?
Mhm.
But you're getting the benefit from taking damage. That's the whole point of a battle, right? Is to damage
Yeah.
your opponent's cards. So I think that this and here's the thing, right? The synergies for this card can't even be predicted, right? Like you can't even predict where this card's going to go and what's going to happen during a battle.
Mhm.
Very similar to Yasek, right? A lot of unknowns, a lot of chaos, a lot of just complete mayhem on the
Mhm.
battlefield. This card can deal with that same kind of narrative.
So something I do want to say is that I feel like a lot of the more backline melee monsters in Fire tend to not have a ton of health.
Yeah.
So after
Yeah.
they get, I mean, there's a good chance that they'll just die when they get one hit. Like,
Yep.
for instance, Serpentine Spy. It's a great card, but it's very low health. I think maybe if you have some armor, but again, like it wouldn't get enraged if it just hits the armor. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this. I can see it being really good with Forgotten One for that Retaliate. I think that could turn into like a Lord of Darkness situation. But I think with some of the low health monsters, the low health melee monsters in Fire, it could be more of a bum.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to use it right? So Phineas Rage has high health.
Oh,
Right?
Finisher should be good. Yeah.
That would be good.
Elemental Phoenix has high health.
Mhm.
What's another one? The Cerberus has retaliate and heal, right? So it's going to bounce back and forth between enrage and not.
Phineas has Retaliate too.
He does.
Oh.
That would be a really good one. I need to max mine now. Guys, don't go buying Phineas until I've maxed mine, okay?
Yeah. All right.
And what
Okay,
else?
stream delay. Sorry, we're gonna have to take a 5-minute break.
Think about, but also high speed as well, right?
Mhm.
So now, hold on, let me look at max speed for that one. So at its peak, it's 6 speed, right? So now that goes to what, 9? Is it +3?
No, it's plus like
2.
plus 50%, whatever it is.
So that'll be 3, right? So yeah, so that'll go to 9 plus. I mean, that'll be almost unhittable, right?
Yeah.
If you add any other speed in there, then you're it's even better, right? You can get up to 10, 11 speed, right? That might take out the enemy team right there. So yeah, and with the retaliate, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm immediately thinking the main use case for me would be something like a melee only battle, where you can get some kind of advantage. But that's really because I don't have someone like a Mylar or I don't know. I'm not fully sold on it yet. But it sounds like there was a somewhat of a bit of consensus around for both of you that we got 4 chums, maybe 4.5 chums on this. I think the only one that you didn't like was Ilthain, the life summoner, which is actually Ilthain's not my favorite, but I think I can see use cases for it. So just to be clear. So now to wrap this portion up, I'm curious if you are looking at all 6 of them, not giving price predictions, but can you give me either the order in which the market will value them, or more importantly, or if this is easier, maybe give me like the top 3 in terms of where you think the market will value them, not how like you think you're going to use them, but in terms of like price points, right? Which ones of these are going to be like the Mylar, Lorna, and Ouster of the group that are like a little bit of a tier higher in terms of price, and which ones are going to be the bottom tier? Luthien?
Sispa, Fernheart, and Aquatus, I think, would be the top 3.
Sispa, Fernheart, and Aquatus. Okay. What about you?
I'm going to go with Fispa, Aquatus, and then, I think Fernheart and Skargore are kind of tied. But if I have to pick just the 3, I'm going to go with Skargore.
Really? Over Fernheart?
Yeah.
I
think it's going to be ridiculous.
Okay.
And again, I that's not my how I'm going to play it,
Yeah.
right? But just the opportunities
Fair enough.
to
Okay.
do ridiculous damage. I think it's just going to be dominant.
Fair enough. Okay. I mean, I'm not considering like where the community sentiment is. You just seem so big on Fernheart that I was surprised that you're putting Fernheart in the bottom half.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the unpredictability of Skargore, right?
Yeah.
Some gonna win, and again, I play emotionally, right? So I might just want to just get in there and just wipe.
I mean, who doesn't play emotionally? I mean, bots, right? But most of us just like, can I stick Dr. Blight in here somewhere? At least, sorry, that's my general strategy for.
That's my strategy too.
It's like I need a 7th slot just so I can add Blight into here.
One thing I will say about all these cards, and this is again another emotional component, the artwork on these is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everything about them is just extraordinary compared to what we've had back in beta, even in Untamed, right? The artwork is really extraordinary.
I am blown away by the artwork. Even compared to Chaos Legion, this artwork is insane.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of the creative team and what they've done with this. It's nuts. And that's one reason I want to go so heavy into Riftwatchers, because I just think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It is mind-blowingly beautiful.